Welcome back to your live continuing coverage of Toy Fair 2017 here at Jacob K. Javits Center in New York City. Day 3 here, the final day. I've got Hillary Fine from Uncle Milton, and the game is Stones and Bones. Daryl Reed alongside me. How's everybody doing this morning? You feeling good, Hillary?
Feeling good. It's the last day of the show. We've had a great show so far.
Yeah. Now you kind of were born into the business, right? I mean, your dad is a legendary toy guy. Mattel, I mean, he's a legend, right?
That's what I hear. Yeah, I grew up a Mattel kid.
So what was that like?
It was a lot of fun. I'd go in on the holidays and walk around all the floors, say hi to people, and as a little kid, they'd just be like, "Here's a toy."
Did you
walk out with a huge box of Mattel toys?
I was going to say, and so I imagine you probably loved Barbie.
I did.
And did Dad bring home Barbie regularly for you?
Every once in a while.
Okay, he didn't want to spoil you?
Right, yeah.
So how did you get into the toy business? Was it like, Dad's at Mattel, I've been around the toy business my whole life, this is what I'm going to do? Or was it, I really love this because of the people that I've met and the experiences that I've had?
It was sort of like Dad knew people in the business, and I was looking for something different. I started out in the entertainment industry and needed a change, and it was just fate that this position at Uncle Milton was available, and
very nice.
Went from there.
What'd you do in the entertainment industry?
I worked for a movie production company doing assistant to the marketing and PR departments.
Very cool. Any big films?
The Scooby-Doo movies.
Wow.
You know, right as I was leaving, it was the new Batman movies. So.
You won't believe this. Daryl does a really good Scooby.
Nice.
Not at all. Not at all.
All right. So this is Stones and Bones from Uncle Milton. Uncle Milton has been around for like 71 years.
Yes.
Started doing the Toy Fair at the old building, the Toy Building on 5th Avenue, and then has been here for a long time. Not all 30 years at Javits, but many of the 30 years,
yes.
Uncle Milton has participated in Toy Fair. And
famous for the ant farm, right? That's their probably most famous release or toy that they've released is the ant farm. And I think everybody knows.
Yeah, when people don't recognize Uncle Milton, as soon as I say, we created the ant farm, they're like, oh, I had one of those as a kid.
It's an interesting product to create for kids, especially back then. It's like, we're going to have an ant farm. You got to have ants and dirt in your house, or you got to keep it outside. I feel like that was a hard sell for parents. I know it did very well, but I feel like in coming up with the product, everybody would be like, not that one.
Maybe it was after, they had an infestation in their house. Does
that ever happen, by the way? Were there any stories of like, oh, the thing cracked open and the ants went everywhere?
No, it's actually break resistant.
It is?
Yeah.
Wow, I never had an ant farm, so I don't know. I'm kind of glad I never had one. But
We're going to get Jack an ant farm, right?
No, please don't.
I think Jill would love that.
Oh, I'm sure. I know I wouldn't love that. How about a drum set? That would be a lot better. Anyway,
how about Stones and Bones?
Well, what I was going to say is, before we get into Stones and Bones, you guys have a lot of great games and titles. It's mostly about board games for Uncle Milton, right? And getting kids to interact with each other and engage with each other.
No, Uncle Milton is a science and nature company.
Okay.
So we started with the ant farm, and we do products like Moon in My Room, which is a moon that hangs on your wall, and you can actually go through the phases of the moon and you learn about the moon. We have Star Wars Science, which is a huge brand for us. Obviously, everybody loves Star Wars.
Of course.
We have
Mike's
lightsaber
favorite.
Room lights and Death Star planetariums.
Wow. I remember seeing some cool stuff, now that you mention it, of Star Wars from Uncle Milton last year, especially the night lights and stuff. So this is Stones and Bones, and this is a board game, and it gets kids back into interacting with each other and playing, and maybe even with parents. Put the phone down, let's have some time to think, to have fun, and to play.
Yeah, so we're partnering with Search, which is the #1 U.S. archaeology company. And so the first part of the product is searching for all of your artifacts in the sand when you open the toy. And then you sort them like a real archaeologist. And then you can actually use the field guide to learn real historical facts about all of the artifacts for each version. And we have the undersea version here, but we also have a desert version and a jungle version.
I almost feel like there's a little Indiana Jones to this. I mean, the way you've created it, it kind of feels like
Indiana Jones / pirates, it's...
Yeah, I mean, that kind of just...
Goonies.
Oh.
That's what I get from it.
It kind of reminds me of the Temple of Doom, but I do like the Goonies aspect as well. So I imagine that there's a treasure or some kind of artifact or fossil in here. And can you put this back together afterwards?
Yes, yes. So it is a nice moldable sand.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. How long have you guys been working on this?
Since last year, last Toy Fair, I believe, is when we met Search.
And how do you so how do you advance? You use the die to advance, and then you move along the board and.
Yeah, so it's a 2 to 4 player game.
Okay.
And each person will have their own little figure that they move around the board. On this board, you can move up this way, and there's stairs. You can see the little stairs, and that's how you get through the different levels. And you have to collect either all the green artifacts, or one of each artifact, or one of the blues, depending on which color you have.
A little Monopoly to it.
A little bit.
Kind of, and I've heard people have been commenting on this right here.
Yeah.
Our thimble.
Jason in our Slack chat just said he loves this because as a kid he always wanted to be an archaeologist, and he was going in the backyard digging and never found anything, so he never got a reward. But this he could have played and enjoyed.
Yeah, so once somebody finds all their artifacts, the final goal is to find the gold.
Okay.
Which is obviously the
Which,
top
I mean,
treasure.
that's always the final goal, right?
So in our undersea version, there's actually 4 different places where the gold could be buried.
Okay.
So somebody could open this up, try to find the gold, and there's nothing in there. So then they have to keep playing.
Okay.
But once they get into the one that has the gold, see?
Oh.
I got my gold.
Wow.
Nice.
And then it's remoldable. So I guess a parent would say, okay, kids, get ready to play, and they'd figure out which one.
Right.
It's kind of got a little Passover in it. That's like finding the Afikoman.
I don't know, but hey.
You've been to a Passover dinner or two?
But I've never participated in that game.
Oh,
Okay.
that's the best game.
That is the best game.
Usually
Yes.
there's money at the end.
Yeah, there's gold when you find the Afikoman.
You know what I found out is there's a lot of money involved in Passover and some gambling games and stuff. So interesting.
So this is available now?
It'll be available this fall.
Okay, very cool. And how much is it going to be?
It'll be $34.99.
Wow.
And is ages 8 and up.
Ages 8 and up. I feel like littler kids could get into it, but certainly that's very exciting. I like this a lot.
Thank you. We're excited about it.
I know Daryl's going to play because he loves this stuff.
You know what? The archaeologists, that whole area and finding things, and I'm into that. Like dinosaur bones or like, ancient Egypt history. I like that. So.
Yeah, that's what's nice about it. It also teaches kids that they're playing. And sometimes kids don't realize that they're learning while they're playing.
Well, that's what we've been talking about all week is how to get kids to learn without realizing they're learning, and really it's through entertainment.
Right.
And we're all about entertaining and elevating the audience. Be creative, be positive, be inspired, and that's what BeTerrific is about. Hillary, thanks for coming on, sharing a little bit of your story and history, a little bit of Uncle Milton's story and history, and of course, showing us Stones and Bones.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here. That's Hillary Fine. You're the Terrifics. He's Daryl Reed. We'll be back with a whole lot more. Your live continuing coverage of Toy Fair 2017 right after this. Stay with us.